G'day guys, I hope everyone is well. I'm in lockdown like 80% of the rest of New South Wales. I just thought I'd do a video on the top 10 questions that get asked on my YouTube channel. I'm pretty active in the comment section, as you're probably aware. There's a lot of repetitive questions that come up, so let's try and answer a few of them. Question number one, how did I become a professional shooter? Well, that one's easy. I'm not, guys. I'm just a regular recreational hunter like everyone else. I've just got a, call it certain skill set, and I've got some nice gear that helps me get good results for property owners. How do I gain hunting property access? Look, that's all about networking and relationships. There's no free lunch on this one. You've got to put the legwork in. Door knocking is something that's always worked really well for me in the past. Reputation is king. I get my name referred around a little bit now because of the pest control shooting that I can and have done. That certainly helps. Look, it's just one of those things. You need to put a lot of effort into it if you do want to get access. There's a lot of people out there that have done the wrong thing. Property owners have certainly been burnt on that aspect. This is probably a topic that I could expand on much further, but this short format video, I won't be going right down that path. One big piece of advice, don't rock up with 6 mates, camo clad, ready to hunt and knock on a property owner's door. First impressions make a huge impact to a farmer. Remember, they're basically letting you into their backyard. So if you're going to turn up and look like a dickhead, or say something wrong, or give them that poor impression straight off the bat, you've got no hope. You really have to try and relate with people, offer them a skill set if you have one on offer. Yeah, they're probably the main tips that I can give. Look, I've never had great results or heard of amazing results from people doing letter drops, or certainly don't spam community rural Facebook pages and things like that. That's just a pain in the ass for property owners, and you'll probably get more negative press than positive. If this type of Q&A video is of interest to people, please let me know in the comment section. It's an area that I can definitely expand on if you guys would like me to. What area do I hunt in? Don't be offended when I won't answer this question, guys. I like to keep things discreet. I'm happy to share the actual hunting trips, but the locations are my own, and I'm sure the property owners like that discretion as well. Why don't I run a suppressor? Look, it's probably a question that comes up from overseas viewers more than people within Australia. They're a restricted item to own in my state, which is New South Wales. You need a special permit. You basically need to be a pro shooter or similar and jump through all the necessary hoops for the licensing, which I haven't done yet. That may happen, but until it does, no, sorry guys, I can't shoot with a suppressor legally. What rifle scope should I buy? Look, work on spending around an equal amount of what you've spent on the rifle. So if you buy a $1,000 rifle, try and put a $1,000 scope on it. That's a really good rule of thumb. I hate seeing people when they put a $200 Chinese scope on a $3,000 Seiko. It does my head in a little bit. It doesn't make any sense. One aspect to focus on, if it's a stalking rifle, don't go and put a 8 to 32 power tactical long range thing on it. It'll be absolutely useless when you get in tight bush. Look at something in the 2 to 3 power low end of the scope range, 9, maybe 12 range at the top end. What you'll find is if you have too much magnification at the bottom end of a scope zoom, is the field of view will be much narrower, and that's a real problem when you've got animals moving in the bush and you're shooting them at closer range sometimes. Why do I talk so much and not shoot so much? Well, I like to share a story on YouTube, not just pure kill shot footage. If you're into that sort of stuff and you don't like me jabbering away at the camera, well, I'm sure you can find another channel that you will enjoy. Thermal scope should I buy? Look, none. They're all expensive and you'll end up going down this huge rabbit hole like I have, but a big rule of thumb is buy once, cry once, don't skimp out on this aspect. I've been fortunate enough over time to use quite a few different thermal devices, ones that I've owned, ones that I've been sent to look at, friends' devices, things like that. That's a huge advantage if you can compare different thermals. Now, I get asked this question a lot, and what I've been forced to do is, if you do have in-depth questions about thermal equipment, look, head over to my Patreon. I'll put a link up here to where that is. Like I mentioned, I get a lot of questions about this lately, and it chews up a fair bit of my time. Now, one thing that has kind of forced me to head over to Patreon is I've got retailers steering people to ask me the question about thermal for customers that they'll go and make commission or earn a wage in the gun shop to sell something. Now, I'm sitting at home trying to do a normal job like everyone else, trying to be the better person and help, and I just can't continue to do that, hence the steer over to Patreon. Now, I know people probably think, oh, I don't want to do that. Look, if you're going to spend $5,000 or $6,000 on a thermal scope, the fees aren't very much over on Patreon. That small contribution might assist you in the decision process. I always have an unbiased and honest opinion. Unlike someone that's got a brand bias with what they might sell, decision might have something to do with a profit margin. I've got none of those allegiances, so it might be beneficial. Back on to the question of which thermal scope should I buy. First step is don't buy a thermal scope. Buy yourself a thermal scanner. It will be much more useful than a scope. Anyone that has used thermal will know this, but if you haven't, people sometimes think that they will get a thermal scope and rifle scan out in the paddocks. Look, I can tell you straight up, that has AIDS all over it. It's a terrible method. Your shoulder will get super sore, so don't do that. Back to the original point that I did raise, buy once, cry once is the biggest piece of advice I can offer. 204 Ruger versus 223 Remington. Look, the 204 is probably the best Fox cartridge that I've ever had the pleasure to use. That's about where it ends. Look, they're a fantastic round for small game, but if you intend to chase anything in that sort of medium space, those tiny little bullets going hyper fast certainly blow up way too quickly for my liking. Like I said, that's fine on foxes and down. If you want to go out and chase wild dogs, pigs, goats, things like that, the 223 Remington is the better round. That's in my opinion. As someone who has owned and used both of them, the 223 is cheaper to buy ammunition, it's easier to find ammunition, and if you do intend to go out and target some of those medium species, the 55 to 60 plus grain pills in 22 cal will definitely kill those animals a little bit better. Now, one caveat on that, I couldn't shoot 39 and 40 grain pills in my 204 Ruger, so I was limited to 32 grain pills. That would have had an impact on literally the impact performance of that round, so take that as you will. Why do I shoot feral cats and foxes? Because they eat mice. Well, no shit, I know they eat mice, but they also eat a huge amount of native animals every single night. If you're asking me this question, please do yourself a favour and have a look on Google at how much damage foxes and feral cats do in Australia. It's only a quick Google search and some of the numbers might give you a little bit of a surprise and an answer to why Australians are so savage on shooting these feral introduced pest animals. Do I eat what I shoot? Look, that depends what it is. I'm not a massive pork fan anyway. I might take a little bit, but generally not. They can carry parasites and diseases in Australia, so you definitely need to check for that. Venison, 100% yes. I'm a huge fan of that. My family eats it as well. Rabbits, look, sometimes I'm not massive on rabbits, but what I will do, if I can, and I haven't blown them to bits with a 308 or a 6BR, I will take them home and offer them to friends and family that I do know who enjoy them. Some of you might scoff at this question, do I eat foxes? Yeah, I get asked, do I eat foxes? Who the fuck eats a fox? Anyway, no, we obviously don't eat foxes in Australia. You might do in some other weird ass country. Over here, not a chance. Why do I make YouTube videos? Well, the first driver for that is one day I'll be old and decrepit and I won't be able to do this anymore, and I figure it'll be good memories. The second big one is the involvement in the community on YouTube and social media. I find that extremely positive. Most of the comments, I'll say most, are really good. I love to chat with you guys down in that comment box, as you will know. Now, as for the Muppets that leave a negative comment, look, I'm pretty savage on the block and delete and mute button at the moment, especially with some of the cat lovers and things like that. One thing that is slightly disappointing is some of those comments do come within the hunting community from people that don't agree with what I'm doing or just want to be a little bit of a keyboard warrior and chuck something out there. That's a shame, but again, thank you to everyone that is positive. I always do get a bit of a laugh if I get some peanut that shares a stupid comment. I'm happy to share that around on social media, as you guys know. Now, we're all in this together. Now, that's anyone that enjoys the outdoors. That's fishermen, bushwalkers, all that sort of stuff. Ladies and men, we need to bind together in our passion. We are a minority, so just keep that in mind if you do want to leave a negative comment. Look, I've got pretty thick skin. It's not going to bother me too much, but some people do shy away from posting on social media because of the negativity and the stigma related with the community. Please try not to do that. Let's just make this all a better place for everyone. It's the benefit to all of us if we can bind together, and let's just enjoy things in life without the negativity. Righto guys, I'm going to wrap the video up. As you can see behind me, I've got my little boy with me. We've been out on our daily exercise with the COVID restrictions we do have. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have a look at my Patreon, and I'll see everyone next time.
Bye!
You happy now, mate? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Righto. See you guys.